shadow. We picked up with Isaac as he had fallen in his dreams down an infinite spiral of darkness and stood before a strange crystalline humanoid made of red crystals. I should have pulled up my note thing. What's this? Give me 1 second. I am an idiot. I had a thing for this and I did not open it. Here we are. Sorry about that. As, through speaking to this crystalline humanoid, Isaac was able to get little information at first as he played around with his words, mocked Isaac, and was, insistent on Isaac answering questions before he did. Eventually, Isaac was able to get the information that he was a creature called Barbas, scion of the Blood Rubies. From Barbas, he learned some interesting information regarding errata and some other things. Eventually, the conversation ended between Isaac and Barbas, with him claiming that he could help Isaac. Almost taunting Isaac's condition before him, hanging it like a carrot toward a rabbit. He said that he could help if Isaac was able to feed him specific magic items, giving him the first thing to go after, which was a hell-touched item that was not too strong. Something that would make him grow stronger and make him allow himself to help Isaac. As that conversation ended, and then you all awoke the next day. Meeting downstairs, there was some brief discussion about some things, and then you all got up, prepared to head out to the interrogation, leaving Beryl and Josie behind, who opted to not be a part of it, who instead went to go help Mr. Perpetor set these statues up around the city. To which they did, as they went and they did so with Mr. Perpetor, refusing his payment at the end of the assistance, and then heading off to the park afterward to relax and such, just spend some time there. While that was happening, the party ventured to Lady Estray's estate, where upon arriving, they were welcomed in by the maid, who attempted to extract some information from the party, asking about the prisoner being held, as she was not informed anything about them by the lady of the estate. As the party opted to not tell her anything more than they possibly should tell. As following that, you all arrived inside, had a brief conversation with Satanta, Lady Estray, and Lady Osani, and then went to the interrogation of the Red Mage, Carmenos. Carolina awaited outside as you all did that, and Astrid and Silas disguised themselves throughout the interrogation. As questions were asked of the Red Wizard Carmenos, but he pretty firmly relied on the shield of Praxmorian law, preventing him from having to answer anything. Eventually, through some coaxing and through some clever manipulations, the party was able to get some information out of him, specifically through the use of Astrid with some clever words to say about his situation. Sorry, my brain stopped for a moment because I was talking for a long time. As he went to answer questions regarding what you all wanted to know, as he gave you all 3 questions he would answer. As first, what was asked was why the Red Wizards were here. And to give a brief on the explanation he claimed that the war between Vosia and the Zillion Empire is more volatile than it even seems, and that they have a stake in making sure it does not spread too far across the nation, and have a stake in general, though they did not explain their stake too much. However, it could be inferred that their stake lies in the preservation of the Zillion Empire, as it was, he cited a greater thing going on with the war than it might seem, and upon citing that, he brought up the fact that Vosia has been given free passage through Sorovia, and that it's no coincidence that Sorovia and the land of Wizaria are so close. And I believe someone was able to infer something about Wizaria not making any moves in Euclex because of Zillion existing, or it was something that one of the NPCs said. I can't quite remember. Nonetheless, it was something that someone either inferred or an NPC said, so somebody knows it. I'm sure that person remembers it, or they don't. So, continuing on, before the party could get more useful information out of him, a surge of magic emanated throughout the room, and a portal opened of fiery make, as stepping through a devilish-looking man with large bat-like wings and tall horns with red skin stepped through. As a good amount of the party were able to recognize the man not as a tiefling, but as a Cambion. And he claimed to be Zulker Rogrin, and had been sent to pick up the Red Wizard Barbaros for the organization, so that he could be brought back as soon as possible and have this matter dealt with soon. He spoke and claimed that the Red Wizards were not seeking any conflict, or were not seeking to do anything of this sort. There were some insight checks that got rolled, but nobody was able to glean whether or not that was the truth, but it did not seem like he was lying. It seemed like he sincerely believed that, and was quick to silence the Red Wizard Camaros before he could make any snide remarks about being brought away. As he walked in and as he went to left, he glanced toward Astrid, glaring toward her finger where her ring lies, with disgust and anger, though did not do anything, and then quickly left afterward with the Red Wizard in tow. As, with him gone now, you all prepared to head out toward the next interrogation, the interrogation of the mayor. Before you all left, Lady Estray approached Astrid and spoke to her briefly about her plight, as some information regarding it got exchanged with Lady Estray, who gave Astrid some suggestions and said that she would be looking into some things herself. You all then moved on from that, heading to what was now next the mayor's interrogation, and after the talking of two of the serial killer by Isaac. However, as that went on, the party split once again, as Silas decided to head off and find his sister, eventually finding her in the park, where he would meet up with her and Beryl and spend the rest of his time with. As the bulk of the party, Astrid, Carolina, and Isaac, went toward, I guess not even the bulk, I guess it's split half between two groups, and then, we'll get to Soul in a second here. As the Astrid, Carolina, and Isaac went off to head to the interrogation at the prison. However, before we pick up with that, before we continue with that plot line, I am going to cover some things that would have taken place hours ago, before you all awoke with Soul, and then see where she is going to be afterward. I had operated under the assumption that she was just going to be with you the entire time last session, but that could change now, and we will see what happens. I will also jump quickly to you after Beryl in case you have something you want to do aside from sitting in the park once I'm finished with the Soul stuff, but that'll just be to get a quick gleam of information if there's something you want to do and know what to do after, and then jump back to the party. Before we get back into it, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, anything I left out of the recap that they thought was important? All right. With that in mind, Soul. That night, you say a prayer to your goddess. And as you pray, you pray normally, and then continue with the rest of your night as is, heading to bed eventually. As you go and sleep, though, your mind is assailed by strange things. You find yourself in a murky, inky darkness, looking through what is almost like eyes partially submerged in, that has been partially submerged in an inky pool, now removed, seeing the world blocked by blots of this blackness, only seeing bits and pieces of it. As you look, you are seeing a strange sight, something you've not ever seen before. But you're able to recognize some smaller details even through the inky blots. What looks like a vast, infinite desert, spanning far, far and wide. Sand continuing for almost what seems like impossible lengths of time. A sun bearing down with incredible heat down upon it. And then a strange sight. Tall pillars of stone and iron, it looked like. You can barely make them out. It's strange. And as you try to glean anything from them, they seem like pillars, but at the same time, they're large. Very large, tall, impossibly tall, nothing you've ever seen before. Half submerged in these sandy wastes, as if swallowed by the desert. As you try to glean anything from this, all you see is just the blots blocking any gleam that you could get of this information. And as you continue to look and try to figure anything out, you feel a tug on your person, as if something just pulled you, or as if you'd just been struck, and then another one, and then another one, as the blots of inky darkness begin to cloud up your vision almost completely. You then begin to hear something, a low hiss, like a burst of steam, as you feel something grip onto your chest. as you feel what feels like a deep, heavy claw, stronger than a jungle beast you have faced before, with claws sharper than you have felt. Yet, despite it clutching onto your chest, you feel no blood and you feel no puncture. But you can feel it press deep inside of your chest, leaving a heavy, heavy feeling. As in this blackness, you attempt to flail out and fight against it, but can see nothing. Only feeling this deep in your chest as you begin to feel a pull, as if something is tearing something from you. As you then only hear the sounds of your screams echoing out for the next few seconds as it pulls and pulls. And then what sounds like a searing burst of flame as heat would surround you for a moment. Fiery, fiery heat, as you would then hear that hissing sound like steam again burst forward, but this time pained, panicked, as your eyes would clear of the inky blot, blinded by a rainbow flame enveloping you as you look out. As all you see is what looks like a shadowy creature standing before you, made entirely of shadow and darkness, with a long, stretched out, inky black arm that was pressed against your chest, now retracting as it is swallowed by the rainbow flames. As that goes, I have to check what your roll was again. Oh, okay. As that happens, the flames begin to fade, but you're still partially blinded as they are. Before you feel... Okay, sorry. You feel yourself beginning to slip your mind, as if falling asleep once again. As this time blackness begins to take you, but not the blackness of the darkness before, but the darkness of sleep. And as that goes to claim you, though, you're able to get one glance of clarity at the thing you are seeing, these massive desert scape filled with tall stone and iron buildings. As you see affixed at the center of it what looks like a large statue of what looks like a well-adorned man holding his right arm up, clutching what looks like a jeweled scepter. And then you are swallowed by the encroaching sleep. As you awaken then, the next day, almost shooting up, clutching your chest as you do. As now awake, your eyes would move around the room as you would see something slightly disturbing. As you'd see what looks like from the a shattered open window at the side of your room, what looks like seared handprints on the side of the windowsill as if something pulled itself in, and then what looks like inky footsteps across the ground that lead up to your bed. And then a searing, burst as if something incredibly hot exploded in the area, as there is what looks like some scorch marks around the area of the bed. And then a quick, very quick, what looks like footsteps of that inky blackness moving toward the window. But you are now awake. What would you do?
She would immediately get up and run to the window.
You'd get up and run to the window?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You looking out of it?
Yes.
As you look out the window, you see a partially cloudy day. Mostly cloudy day. And looks like normal folk moving about. And as you look down, perhaps trying to glean any information more, you see no indication of anything. Just Normal day. Though you see, actually, if you look down, I'd say you have a good enough perception. You'd see what looks like what is likely the shards of glass from the window, scattered across the stone ground of the road before at the back of the tavern.
Okay. She stares out the window for a few seconds and then runs out of the door and rapidly knocks on Astrid's door.
Okay, so this is still going back in time, so we're gonna moving everyone back in time. So, Astrid, during your morning bit, you would have heard a knock on your door.
Yeah, she would go to answer the door. I think she's in the middle of braiding her hair, but she's ready for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Sol. Can I help you?
Come with me.
All right.
She'll run back to her room.
Mm-hmm.
And
Astrid,
Astrid will follow.
Assuming you lead her into the room, Astrid, you would see the same scene I described.
I'm not crazy.
No, I can definitely see the handprints.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Did something happen to you?
And it tried to attack me. I'm okay. I am okay now. She looks down. Are there any markings on her?
You looking just like superficially, like on your clothing and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Nothing you can see now.
I had a nightmare, and I woke up to this. I barely remember what happened.
Did the dream have a narrative of any kind, or was it just a nightmare?
Desert sands, pillars, claws, and a shadowy figure. I think that's what was in my room. He may have come back.
Do you think it's related to the shade?
I think so. I cannot sleep alone anymore.
Would you like to sleep in my room tonight?
I thought it was in the morning.
This is in the morning.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure she's referring to as in the next
night. Sure. Yes.
I'm not sure how much of a deterrent my presence will pose, but hopefully I could either wake you up if you are having a nightmare, and maybe you'll be confused if you switch rooms.
Possibly. Well, it seems that I have some research to do. Sorry to bother you.
No, it's fine. I'm up already. It's not a big deal.
She walks away. Her hands are kind of shaky.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she would go tell the innkeeper.
What specifically are you telling him?
That the window burst.
Okay.
She had a nightmare and the window burst.
So you described that, and you know, get a bit of frustration from him, but you get the idea that this sort of thing happens pretty often, and you would be charged about 2 silver for the overall damages.
Then I guess after the cleanup, she would check underneath her clothes to see if there were any marks.
On your chest, you would find what look like fresh bruises in the shape of like a full like hand, like not hand, but like circular like fingers or like claws pressed up against your chest. Bruises there.
Then she would, I guess, leave a note. Well, she'd tell Astrid that she's headed to the library for the day.
Okay. And is that where you'll be going? You will not be joining the party for the interrogations?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to head to the library. Are you just going to be browsing books? What are you going to be looking for?
Yeah, she's going to spend some time looking for books on scepters or artifacts.
Sure. Alrighty. Give me a D100 roll, and I'm going to move to Barrel after, and I'll come back to you later, if that's alright. Okay. Barrel, while you are in the park and you're doing about what you're doing, is there anything else you're going to do, or are you just going to remain there until it is time for the meetup?
The meetup being in the graveyard, or the meetup for the interrogation?
For the graveyard, or are you going to the interrogation?
I think Beryl would want to go to this investigation, or interrogation.
Sure, and I suppose Silas would be able to inform that was happening now.
Okay, yeah.
So, if you wanted to go to that, you could.
And we know that that's taking place in the Temple of Law?
It's taking place at the prison, not at the Temple of Law.
Oh, okay.
Where the
Sure,
mayor is
Silas
being held.
knows where that would be.
Well, no, he wouldn't.
Fuck.
But you'll likely be able to figure it out. It would take just directions from a guard to find out where the prison is, so...
Alright.
It would not be very hard.
Alright, then she would leave Silas and Josie in the garden to head to the prison.
Assumedly. Until I get out information from them, it states otherwise in like a week, but... That was a joke, too. Either of them, if they are watching right now, which it appears they are. Nonetheless. Okay. So you're gonna head to the prison.
Yeah.
Soul, I'll tell you now, what the result of that D100 is that you're not... You're finding plenty of books on, like, artifacts and, like, things like that, but as you, like, gleam through them, you can tell it's not getting you the information you're, I assume, looking for. Or what are you looking for? Are you looking for information about, like, the rod you saw in the vision?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, you're not really gleaming any information from them. I'm going to tell you that now and come back to you later to see if you have any, like, inkling of what you'd want to do in response to that. So you don't gain any good information from it. But then, with Beryl moving through the city to head to the prison, and the party moving at the same time, it's going to be a bit strange time-wise, and if you really looked at it with a microscope, I'd probably wouldn't make any sense. But the group of Satanta, Astrid, and Carolina, and Isaac would eventually run into Beryl as they're making their way toward the prison. As Satanta would just give you a nod, as you would all see Beryl, and Beryl would see all of you. Beryl would see all of you.
Hi. Are we headed to the mayor's interrogation?
We are,
Mind if I join you?
of course.
Can Beryl tell it to me?
Hmm?
I am color palette swapped. I am blonde with slightly darker skin and
Oh,
wearing
you still have
green
your
and brown.
disguise.
You still have that on.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she's gonna up it before she goes in to see the mayor, but right now it's still
Yeah.
on.
Seeing that, she'd be like, who's your new friend?
Oh, we traded her in for Astrid. It's a
What?
new model. He
I
wouldn't say new model.
traded her in?
You know, like a book exchange.
She's not a book.
It's still just Astrid, don't worry.
It's still me, Beryl.
Oh. It's a different look.
It'll wear off eventually. This was just for the interrogation.
It looks nice.
Thank you.
Right. Well, shall we?
Continue on then.
Okay. As you guys are going to head to the prison. As you arrive outside what looks like a gated part of the town. As you arrive towards large, tall iron fence that surrounds what looks like two buildings. The first building is a large, but the smaller of the two buildings, stone complex that is built in a strange way, rather rectangular, very straight up, with what looks like a small, first level square, box off the side of it. As the flag of Destin hangs from the top of it, there are what looks like rampart walls at the side of the square roof of one part, and a tower at the top of the large one. As you can see, guard atop it and such. As looking forward toward it, you can see the flags and the such, and what looks like a sign in common that clearly reads that this is the barracks. It doesn't just say barracks, but it's like there's it has a descriptor that I did not make up. That proves to you that it's like the barracks for the guard. And behind it there is a much larger fort-like stone complex that is almost built in a square shape around itself, with large stone walls with the guards atop it, and looks like a gated rampart entrance, though you cannot see anything aside from the closed rampart entrance. Sorry, not rampart, portcullis entrance. And past the portcullis, you can see what looks like a sort of courtyard area before you, before there. As you would be led toward the gate, Satanta leading, the guards, upon seeing Satanta, do just give a nod, and they help open up the gates and will walk beside you all, leading you in sort of like an escort. Not really giving any like bad looks or anything, or looking particularly concerned. You can, those of you, the more insightful bunch can tell that this is just like procedure as they're moving forward with you toward the large square complex that you see a signpost at the front of that does read Wolford Prison as you approach. And as you grow closer, there is a very, very well armored patrol of guards standing right outside of it, with what looks like Guard Captain Galtra nonchalantly leaned up against the wall of the portcullis, very clearly bored, sort of out of her mind as she waits there, listlessly. And as you all approach, Satanta goes, "Apologies for keeping you waiting as long as I have. As you can tell, I had to bring some folk with me, and there was a complication with the Red Wizard." As she gives a glance over to Satanta, stands up and goes, "Complication, huh? Well, I'd ask for more information, but I want to get this started, so I figure I'm going to get informed about that complication later." Satanta just nods and goes, "Full report will be available for you. It's a mess, though." And she goes, "Yeah, alright." She looks over Satanta and the rest of you and goes, "We're really going in there with this many people, though." As Satanta just says, "Look, they're free. I invited them to be free to join us for the interrogation. They want to be a part of it, and they have stakes in this, as do you and I." As she just goes, "Well, I can't deny your invitations, O mighty Knight of Four. So, not gonna fight against it. Just saying, probably gonna make the lady shit her pants with the amount of people."
The guard captain has a point. Maybe some of us want to wait outside.
That's a tempered opinion there. Wasn't expecting that.
We don't want to overwhelm her. I mean, we know how scattered she can be.
We also don't want to contribute to not getting the information that we need in this interrogation. So it might be best if we don't overwhelm him by all going in.
However, and no offense, guard captain, I think you scare her the most.
Oh,
Maybe...
yeah, I'm not gonna be there.
Oh, okay. Okay, well,
Trust me. I know. Huh. I'm gonna be, waiting at the back, watching you guys very carefully. No offense, dear Knight of Four, it's, procedure. He just shrugs and goes, "I really don't care."
I think it might be best if just one of us went in the room, and Astrid proved herself with the Red Wizard. I think she's the friendliest face.
I agree.
If you're willing, Astrid.
I mean, I'm blonde for a reason right now, right?
I mean, it'll at least fool her. The guard captain says.
Also, her hair is up, by the way. It's not in a braid right now. Just because it's just the braid, it literally is just a palette swap.
Because, I mean, just a palette swap definitely going to trick someone like her.
I'm content with just listening in. The rest of you, you're free to, well, you know, you're free to join Astrid if you feel it's necessary.
Beryl's gonna lean over to blonde Astrid.
Blastrid.
Astrid.
And kind of whisper, Did I help you? You know, this morning.
Yes, absolutely.
Really? Great. I can try to do it again if you need.
Yes, absolutely. That sounds excellent.
All right. Are we doing this right now? Cole gives a look to Satanta.
As he just goes, we're about to do it.
Great. All right. Just looks to Astrid. Right. Holds out her hands.
Yep, Astrid will give her hands again.
And just kind of gently squeezes. And inputs the chaotic magic into Astrid, giving her the bolstering magic.
Sorry if you guys see me smoking at this something right now. It's not because of you all.
So it gives me a D3, right, Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On any ability check or attack roll, depending on how the
Perfect.
interrogation goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap her. Don't worry.
Yeah.
What you know?
What's the truth?
And then
Just
Astrid-
smack her across the face.
And then Astrid will obviously re-up this guy's self, so she's got a full timer.
Where is she?
Okay. Oh, sorry, there's just a thing going on in Twitch chat. Chris is mad because he's not a mod.
Chris, you don't need power.
Ollie's a mod, though, because Ollie earned it.
Ooh! So a personal slight.
Anyway, Satanta will look to you, Astrid, and goes, seems like you're coming in with me. You good and ready to go?
She will clear her throat and say, "Yeah, I'm ready to go."
All right. Are you looking to do this in any particular way, or just going to interject where you think you need to?
I'll just jump in whenever it looks like you need some help.
Got it. Sorry, Ollie just timed out Chris and deleted 8 of his messages, so I'm fucking pissed. So I'm
Yes,
just
fuck.
fucking losing it. He just typed shut after he did it, so...
That's mad fucked up.
Fucked.
That's fucking funny.
Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Continuing on, has you all, not you all, well, technically you all wait by the side as the guard captain just gives a nod over to the guy on the other side of the portcullis, the guard, as it begins to slowly open. As she begins walking in, and Satanta follows quickly behind, and assuming each of you follow him and her into this large courtyard-like area. As you see this massive courtyard that has what looks like some small trees about it before you. As well, you see many different doors on every side of the stone walls that surround you on each corner, as you are led forward to the door to the north. And as you look around, each of you see that the doors are mostly the same in their make. However, there are only 2 doors currently that have guard around them. As the one you're going to the north at has, looks like, 3 guard posted up at it, with spears just waiting at the side, with a more of a casual stance, just keeping an eye out. However, to the southeast, like in the corner of the pocket of the fort, there is a door that is surrounded by what look like 6 guard, just waiting, all facing toward the door, just with their eyes locked on it constantly, with a bit of tension in them, as they all have spear, as not all of them even have spears, some of them have swords of well make, it seems, as they wait there. As you all are led to the north door, and one of the guards, seeing the guard captain, opens it up, and you all begin to walk in. As walking in, you find yourselves in a long hallway that goes about 60 or so feet to the left and 60 or so feet to the right as well. Leaning across the hallway on all one side are what look like prison doors with large iron gates before them, clearly locked, and inside some of them there are keys. They're spaced out enough so that there's a good amount of space inside the cells. They in fact don't look inhumane or anything like that. That's the length of the hallway actually is so long so you can tell to accommodate the amount of space each of these cells gives, as you have a good amount of walking and room in there if you end up in one of these jail cells. As you see down the hallway at one of the cells at the very end of the hall, right before what looks like a massive iron gate, there is look like 2 guards posted right in front of a cell against the wall. As Satanta looks to you, Astrid, and gives a nod, and he starts walking down the hall as the guard captain leans up against the wall and just keeps her ear pushed leaned out toward the left side where Astrid and Satanta are walking. So, Astrid, are you following?
Yep.
Okay. As you follow, and eventually reach the end of the hall with Satanta, and as you two approach, you see the 2 guards give Satanta a nod, and they step away and take a position by the back, out of sight of the cell. As Satanta pulls up to the cell, getting past the key as he walks by one of the guards. As standing in front of the cell with Satanta now, you look into this spacious cell to see what looks like the mayor in a rather frazzled, very, I guess, depressed state, sat up on a bed, just staring at the wall as she is sitting there, sort of shaking, and, rocking back and forth as she is, muttering to herself quietly. As Satanta, right in front of the, cell door, just takes the key, slides it in, unlocks it, swings it open, and goes, All right, Lady Serpentstone, here to talk to you about, what's gone down here. As the minute Satanta talks, she just jumps up in the air and looks over. And as she looks over, you see her eyes are red and very clearly sore from likely either crying or something else of the sort. As she looks out to you all and goes, This is not how things were supposed to go. I'm the mayor, I shouldn't be in a prison cell. As Satanta just goes, yeah, well, you know very well what you did, so... Unfortunately, this is going to be how it is. Be lucky that you're being treated so well. She just goes, treated well? I'm in this cold, dank... Satanta cuts her off and go, you're being treated fine. As he walks up, holding the cell door open for you, Astrid, waiting for you to enter.
Astrid will come on in.
And he will shut the door behind. And the guards will take their positions after the door has been shut. As Satanta walks up directly in front of the mayor and leans up against the wall looking down to her. The mayor, in a stupor, just sort of looks around the room, seeing you, and looking back to Satanta and goes, Who's that? As Satanta just goes, an associate who can speak for herself, who will be a part of this.
I'm a friend of Lady Estray's.
I see. I have nothing to hide, and I only did what I did out of desperation and the need to. So, ask what questions you must. As Satanta starts off by asking asking the basic questions of why she was working with the Red Wizards, and why she was in contact with them, to which she would explain that the breaking out of the war between Vosia and Zillion worried her, and continued to worry her, and she knew that allies were going to be needed for both Destin and herself if they were going to get through this alive. So, she made the express decision to reach out to the Red Wizards and try to get them on board and possibly become a representative for them to speak to the Queen or other political figures later to get them to assist Destin. As, after explaining that, she would state, I only did what I did because we're in grave danger. And sometimes, we all know this, you cannot be bound by the confines of law to do something that is right. At that being said, though, Satanta does go, and if it was just the contact with the Red Wizards, this might be something else. But attempted murder of someone is a big deal, don't you think? As she flinches, and she just shakes her head and goes, I didn't mean to do that. I panicked, and then there was a knife in her back, and
Why don't you tell us where you got that poison? Because that was nasty.
Poison? What do you mean?
Lady Estray was poisoned. It was almost like it was alive.
I didn't use any poison. The dagger I used was a purchase I made a long time ago. It was I thought it was only a decoration piece.
Where'd you buy it from?
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling this up was a lot more complicated than it need be.
If I recall correctly, Astra doesn't know anything about Silas's poison escapades, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Where did I buy it? I mean, it was a traveling merchant, I believe. I don't recall. It was a long time ago.
Is that answer good enough, Satanta?
Certainly not. If this dagger has anything to do with what infected her, then, it's a pretty big deal. And she goes, I didn't know anything infected her, I just thought it was a very good dagger. As Stasha goes, yeah, a very good dagger in your hands wouldn't have done what it did to Lady Estray, trust me. As she winces and goes, look, I don't remember where I bought it. It was, traveling merchant while I was in, she is very clearly trying to remember. I'm gonna give her a roll. Not a good roll, but not a terrible roll. I was in Ravia on a political trip. I was going to meet with some representatives from the council there, and there was a traveling merchant. I don't remember their name. I believe they were. They were strange. like a tall, insect-like person. Tance just goes, insect-like person. She goes, yeah, they looked, they had some features of a man and like a moth. I can't remember anything aside from that.
Were they associated with anybody, like the Hive, maybe?
No, they seem to be independent. And Astrid, you can roll a history.
Okay.
I'd even give you advantage. It's related in some way to illustrate. Okay. Does that,
No, the D3 is just once on a D20. It's not a, like, permanent boost for the 10 minutes.
Oh, gotcha. Never mind.
Sorry.
Because the
That's okay.
roll, because the roll is a 21 already, I'm not going to be
21 then,
mean and make you keep the D3 roll there. So no worries.
Okay.
You definitely recognize in some ways the descriptor. As at least to your knowledge, you're aware of some group of moth people. Moth-like people at the very least, as you would be aware of the Actians, a race of lunar moth-like moth folk that you know of. You know of them solely because they maintain a grove in Sylvania, the Crescent Grove by the Crescent Lake, and they are like very, very, very big Illustre worshippers and protectors of the area around there. Did you say wait?
No, I said great. Can you give me the name of the species again one more time, though?
Yes. Actian. It's in the homebrew thing as well, if that spelling's
Yeah, I
wrong,
know.
but it's not, I believe, so.
Do the Actians, from what Aster knows, or at least the ones she's interacted with, have any kind of affinity for poison?
Roll me another history to gauge, like, your interactions with them. I don't know how much you would have, necessarily. Um, 15. This is just a flat roll. I'd say you didn't seem to have, the ones you interacted with, a particular more affinity to poison than any other people you've met. A lot of them had particular affinities to, like, druidic powers and power stemming from the moon and such, but you didn't get any, like, affinities toward poisons from them. However, you do know that they are insect-like people, so maybe? You don't know, though. You never got that impression from them. But you only know of the ones from your grove. From the grove. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know who she's talking about at the very least, but as far as I know, they don't have any association with poison. Aside from the fact that you're sort of insect-based. But moths, for the most part, don't have poison either.
You're right about that. As, Santa would look and go, so you don't remember anything aside from the description that they were an independent, merchant, and that they were, traveling. And sold ya this dagger. She goes, yes. Santa goes, still have the dagger? And she would go, I buried it. I buried it, somewhere in the wood after what had happened. Somewhere in the wood, you say? As she goes, I don't remember where I buried it. I just picked somewhere and I buried it.
Was it at least near where you stabbed her?
I didn't stab her in the wood. I stabbed her when she came and questioned me at my estate. If it was near where I attempted to dispose of her body, then I believe so, but I don't fully remember.
Could you describe the dagger? Are there any symbols or markings on it?
No symbols, no markings. It was, 1 second. She doesn't know anything about this. I don't know why I'm looking up specific measurements or anything like that. Like she knows that. It was about a dagger-sized dagger. It was pale white, like a bone, curved. Sort of looked like a fang. It was fancy looking.
It looked like a fang, or it was a fang?
It looked like a fang. It wasn't.
Was it made of metal, though?
The blade looked like bone. It felt hard and sharp like metal.
It may have just been a fang then, especially if there was poison in it.
I don't know.
Was the handle interested in any way? Like any markings or a design?
It had a leather wrapping. Black leather. Satata just goes, this is very helpful. Rolling his eyes a bit. Alright. We got that that the dagger you buried it somewhere, so that's good at the very least. As Satanta looks to you, as sort of like wondering if you have any more questions. You can get this, you're passively insightful enough. Like a sort of look to see if you have anything else you want to say before he moves on.
Well, Astrid will sort of give him a nod, like they can proceed.
As Satanta would go, found a letter in your office from a Dr. Malavitz. I know the individual, Doctor in Praxmore, pretty famous for his practice. What does he have to do with all this? As she just like shakes her head and goes, nothing to do aside from, I had heard that he had been employing some folk of his and having his practice go to the front lines to aid wounded and such. So I sent a missive to him asking if he could tell me anything of the war, if he could confirm any of my suspicions of the sort, as he would likely know better than anyone aside from combatants. As he goes, and then you got the letter back from him, and you thought that was confirmation enough that you sought out the Red Wizard. And she goes, it didn't exactly go down that way, but it's similar, yes. And that's the end of Dr. Malavitz's,
Is Jake like really, really quiet for anybody else?
Yeah, I think you may hit
yeah.
something.
His voice is like just went down.
No.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, so
It's your mouth moving. She's so anxious she lost her voice.
Nope.
No.
We hear a little bit of like static when you're fucking with it, but other than that, nothing.
Okay.
Cool.
before, so that was pretty cool. All right, gonna get back into it now. As she said, following that line of questioning, that it didn't happen exactly like that, but basically yes. And that's where the involvement of Malavance ends then. And she goes, yes, I sent him a letter, and he responded cordially and quickly to it.
Can you think of any reason why the Red Wizard would want to destroy evidence of that?
To correct something, he didn't try to destroy evidence of that letter.
Oh, it wasn't that one? Sorry.
It was only that letter what remained on the desk.
Gotcha. I didn't say that then.
That's fine.
But he did try to destroy something.
He did try to destroy evidence.
She did.
As Tanta then goes, now, here's a real important question. In your communications with the Red Wizards, did they coerce you or try to tell you to destroy letters regarding your talks? As she goes to open her mouth and then stops, closes her eyes, and she's already sweating, but she shakes a bit, and she goes, I can't recall any of that.
Jake, could you say something for me?
Hello.
Okay, thank you.
Why did you not hear what I just said?
No, I heard everything, but my internet did a weird skippy thing, and so then I could see you talking and nothing happening, and then you said everything all at once very fast.
Did you understand what got said?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to insight check or anything like that?
I do actually.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah, clearly lie.
Are you sure about that, Miss Mayer?
Why would I not be sure? I have a mostly good memory.
Well, it's not really a question of memory. It's a question of you telling the truth or not.
What reason?
You're not a very good liar.
What reason would I have to lie now?
Checked your own ass, I imagine. You know what we have on you that's concrete. If you withhold information, it's possible you can get away with something lighter than if you were to reveal everything.
You're saying if she withholds information, she could get away lighter?
Like, if she successfully does it, like, we don't notice.
She just is like shaking her head.
Were you encouraged by the Red Wizards to destroy evidence of your communication with them?
Roll me persuasion.
Also, let me know once we're 10 minutes into this so I can take the D3 off.
If this even lasts 10 minutes. She's being rather forthcoming on most things, and you're pretty much through most of Satanta's questions. So.
Correct.
She just goes, that's... Okay. They said something of destroying letters, yes. It was mentioned. I forgot to do it, I believe. I am only recalling it now. Clearly I did, since you all found some things.
Did you know the Red Wizards sent a guy to your office?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
He was burning some of your stuff. We were able to cover one of the letters, but not fully.
I guess they came to do what I forgot to do. I don't know why it's a crime that I was in contact with the Red Wizards anyway. It's just a simple transaction. As Santa goes, let's not do this. You tried to murder a woman. You know that. Even if you try to plead with you're just talking to people, it doesn't matter. You did stab someone in the back. So the mayor just
Also, look,
shakes her head. Go ahead.
to me, it also looked like she may have only wanted to stab the Red Wizards in the back.
I just wanted to do no such thing.
I mean, keeping evidence of the letters is something you can use as leverage later on in case things go sour. The fact that they wanted you to burn them means they didn't trust you either.
I had no intentions of doing such. I just wanted to be safe, and I wanted Destin to be safe as well. And they offered, and they seemed like a good choice. I mean, fuck. Look at what's going on. You can't tell me that no, you're not worried about it. Tata just shakes his head and goes, regardless of my concern or not, I think I've gotten all I need from you. It looks to you. You have anything else you want to say?
How often did you communicate with Lady Valindra?
It was a couple letters, and then she sent the representative. Santa China goes, actually, here's one more thing as well. You're very keen on this festival. Why were you so keen on making sure it went well? As she just shakes her head and goes, I just wanted to make sure I made some sort of impression on the representative. Show that I could do something correct. And I thought large-scale Winter Remembrance Festival, organize it to be fantastic. That should show him that I could do something at the very least to be useful. Report back well to his master.
You thought a street fair was going to earn you cred with
It's
the
not,
Red Wizards?
it wasn't just going to be a street fair. And I thought it would show them that I have organizational skills. It's a lot more difficult to organize something like that than you'd imagine. Were you going to say something, Astrid?
I'm thinking.
Giving you a moment.
So, you thought everything that went down was worth it? The people who died, that was worth your little alliance with the Red Wizards?
I didn't do that! I had nothing to do with any of those people dying. I didn't think that would happen. I was worried. Frankly, I'm always worried about something like that. I didn't know that there would be an attack or anything of the sort. If I knew that there would be an attack, I probably wouldn't have called them here, because do you think this looks good for me? I had nothing to do with that. I wanted it solved as soon as possible, both for the people that had died and because of the obvious reasons as well, aside from that. But I swear upon everything I know that I had nothing to do with it, and I don't believe they had anything to do with it either. I don't know what had happened.
You have any other co-conspirators from the town?
It was just me.
Just you?
Yes.
An insight check on that.
Go ahead. Seems to be the case. At least she believes that. Is there anything more Astrid wants to ask?
She's gonna look at Satanta and say, I'm just about finished if you are.
Satanta looks at her one more time and goes, one more thing. You're claiming you have nothing to do with the attack. I want you to look at me in the eyes and tell me as truthfully as you can that you had not a thing to do with the city being attacked or anything like that. As she would look up to him and her eyes are like, again, sore and red, but she still just does her best to maintain eye contact, shaking, and she just says, I had absolutely nothing to do with the attack on the town. And Satanta just looks at her. Okay, you're rolling an insight.
Yep.
It seems like she's telling the truth. Again, she believes that. It seems to you. It seems she believes that. Alright. Well, that's all I have to ask of you, Lady Serpentstone. I'll at least give you that you being mostly cooperative is going to be good for you. So, you're going to get asked more questions by more people. Keep up the cooperation, why don't you? She just nods her head. Satanta looks to you.
I'm going to leave you with something. You're grateful to Lady Elsani, right, for helping you out?
Among other things, yes.
You're feeling awful sorry for yourself in here. I want you to think about how the fact that you tried to kill someone extremely important to her, and then try to brush it off like it was nothing. Sit on that for a while, why don't you?
Don't say anything, just looking at the ground.
Yep, Astrid will stand to leave.
Satanta will just nod to you and go to walk towards the door and nod to the guards. They would open it. As he would step out, wait for you to step out.
Yep.
Look to the guard, maintaining eye contact with him, hand him the key. Guard would nod after getting it, as he would lock the cell door. As, before the two of you walk away, Mayor Serpentstone, or former Mayor Serpentstone, calls out, she goes, you might think this is crazy or mad of me doing this right now. All this effort I put through, but give it some time, you're going to see that I was right about all this. Satanta just shakes his head and just walks forward, not saying anything. You follow Astrid?
It's real easy to hide behind that excuse. What you're doing is right. But if you're not doing it the right way, it doesn't matter.
I fear there will be no right or wrong ways once what I fear comes to fruition. She says from the cell.
Yeah, why don't you just sit there and meditate on that for a bit then? And Astrid will leave.
Sure. Satanta walks back over to the group with Astrid in tow. As Guard Captain Galtra just gives him a nod and gestures toward the door leading out. As Satanta nods, looks to you all, and starts walking outside. Are you all going to follow him out?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Alright. As all of you step outside, Guard Captain Galtra would follow. The door would get closed behind her. As she would stand before you all and go, well, she certainly talked a lot and was very forthcoming for... Sorry about that. For the most part. Real head on her shoulders. She says, with a snide, like a sneer.
I think that woman has an anxiety problem.
Oh, do you? Where'd you get that?
Call it the powers of observation.
Oh. Astute. Satanta just goes, well, it's information as all over the places it was. We know her motives and what has gone on. Got her confession on the burden of evidence thing, too, at the very least. The guard captain goes,
I hope I was helpful.
Satanta looks at you and he nods. You're helpful enough there. Got some more information out of her than I might have. Guard Captain Galcher goes, Yep, you all did hanky-dory. It was great. Now, the bitch shall have some time to ruminate on that before we ask her some more questions. Suppose I should ask you, Night of 4, what's going to be happening next? We keeping her here for long? She getting transferred somewhere? Satanta sighs as he goes, I honestly can't tell you. You're going to have to work that out with, some of the officials around. I got a place to be soon. As Guard Captain Galcher goes, got somewhere more important to be than here? As he goes, you could say that. Remember that there's still an assault that happened on the city that was unrelated to what went on, supposedly. Guard Captain Galcher goes, you really believe that she had nothing to do with the attack? Satanta goes, I have no reason to believe that that woman orchestrated anything like that. Maybe I'm missing something. He looks to you, Astrid.
I remember her peak demonstration of her organizational skills was to host a festival that shouldn't have been happening. So I have to agree with Satanta on this one. I think she's easily manipulated and naive, but I don't think she's a mastermind by any degree.
So, could be on the Red Wizard side still, though. Galcher says. And, Satanta goes, it'd be out of character for him. They wouldn't risk their alliance with Praxmore like that, and this would put it at risk. I don't know. I have to head out soon anyway, so speculation is something I can't take part of at the moment. There is something I have to ask of you, though, Guard Captain Galtra. As Guard Captain Galtra goes, oh, great. I hope it's not a favor, because, well, love those. As Satanta goes, it's, half a favor and half a, very strong request. I need you to let, dear boy over here get in and speak with, the serial killer Maiji. As Guard Captain Galcha just goes, looks to Satanta and looks to Isaac and goes, the fuck would I do that for?
We have some questions that need answering. We believe he's connected to incidents that we've come across in our travels.
Oh, yeah? That's the only reason you want to ask him anything. Oh. This is a real big ask, you know that, right? The guy's a genuine psychopath. I don't want anybody talking to him. As Satanta goes, yeah, I understand that, but it's a very strong request from Knight of 4, as you put it several times. As he goes, yep, guess it is. Guess I'm in a bit of a pickle of a situation. When do you want to talk to him?
Preferably before his execution. As soon as possible, I mean.
I was hoping you could let him do it now. Guard Captain. As she goes, fuck me sideways. It's a big ask. And I'm gonna have people in there with him the whole time. Got it? Santa goes, I'm not in charge of what you're gonna do to fulfill the request. I'm just making the request. That was he goes, keep peachy. Turns to look to you, Isaac goes, alright, I'll let you speak to him. There's gonna be people with you, flanking you on both sides the whole time, so you don't do anything sus.
I don't intend to. Is it alright if Astrid joins me?
Fine.
I really do appreciate this, man. I almost called her mayor. Guard Captain.
Right. Just, if you really appreciate it, don't do anything to fuck up the state of the prisoner right now, why don't you?
I only plan to ask questions.
And the rest of you looks to Caroline and Beryl. Am I gonna have to let you all in to talk to the big serial killer too?
Serial killers really aren't my thing, so I would prefer not to talk to him.
No, thank you.
How many serial killers have you met, Carolina?
Not exactly met, but I've known a lot.
Right. That suspicious and ominous statement aside,
Moving on from that.
let's get a move on now. Sestanta goes, before that, Sestanta looks to you and goes, I'm leaving. I have to head out to the crypt now. So you won't see me for some time. But I'll be back, and if any of you, or just that Silas fella of you, wish to talk to me still about further employment, I'll be back, eventually. Give it about maybe a couple of days. Hopefully.
Aye. Safe travels.
Same to you. Well, no, you wouldn't say that. You all be safe as well.
I go to shake his hand.
He'll shake your hand. Zogo.
Sincerely, thank you.
Yeah. We've got the mayor and we got the Red Wizard business taken care of, but remember there's still something else out there that you all know as well. Don't get too cozy.
Don't get cocky, kid.
But
I believe, and I would look to the group. After Astrid and I talk to this serial killer, we plan on investigating the oh god, what was it? Was it the other crypt with
Cemetery.
the cemetery with Lady Astray, right?
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
The Wolford Cemetery.
that was on the agenda, as you could say.
We haven't forgotten, don't worry.
Well, it's been real, as they kids say. He snickers to himself as he says that.
Make sure you give Conda a big bear hug. I want him to be very uncomfortable and squirmy.
Oh, I'll make sure to do that since you asked. And only because you asked. And I'll make sure to let him know that that's why.
Perfect. I'm still a little bit mad at him from the castle, so.
Well, he can be a bit abrasive, so, makes sense. Anyway, keep your eyes, about you. And, keep your heads on your shoulders.
That's where I like it.
As he starts to walk off, giving a wave, from behind as he walks away. And don't you forget about when he starts playing.
Are you going to give me a little bit more information about how I'm supposed to help you here, Isaac?
Yeah, you and I will convene right before we go in. I'm gonna need a minute to talk to you.
Oh, okay.
You're probably going to want to take that minute now, because we're going in as soon as possible. Anyway, some preliminary warnings. I wasn't joking when I said this guy's a genuine psychopath. Unnerving, most of the things he says, and useless, most of the things he says. So I doubt you're going to get anything of use from him.
Astrid has proven herself to be very persuasive.
Don't expect conventional persuasion to work on a guy like this.
Fair enough.
We're not talking about a criminal mayor who might be a dumbass paranoid bitch. We're talking about a psychopath that killed people, seemingly because he wanted to, because he thought it'd be fun. So, remember that. I don't want you pissing yourself inside my jail.
Lucky for both of us, I went to the bathroom before we came here.
He does drink a lot of water.
You'll be talking to him through the bars, not getting inside or anything like that. Don't get too close, and certainly don't fucking touch him or anything like that.
I wouldn't think. Is he chained up?
Doesn't need to be.
I'll be a foot away from the bars then. I don't want him getting too close to me.
Alright. Only other thing I want to say... No, doesn't need to. I told you not to touch him already, so it doesn't matter. So do whatever convening you need to fucking do beforehand. As, she's gonna gesture, to you two. But before that, I'm going to move to Sol, who is at the library. As Sol, having difficulties finding what you're looking for in this book, what would you do? I'm realizing I'm putting all of this in Augon D&D talk now. Oops.
She is going to go back to reading Folk of the Shadowfell.
You're just gonna leave and go back to reading Folk of the Shadowfell?
Oh, she's staying at the library still. But she's gonna...
You know that the library is the timed bookstore thing, remember?
Oh, yeah. She'll go back to the inn.
Alright,
Read Folk of the Shadowfell.
roll me a d20. Okay. As you go to leave, the owner of the store would look to you. As he's gonna go, look, lady, I don't usually say this, but you've been in here a couple times with the time limit, and you've looked through a bunch of stuff, and, have looked displeased each time. It's sort of starting to make me feel a bit bad. It's not my bookstore, so I don't have pride or anything like that in the contents of the store. But it's giving me a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit too attached, some sort of inferiority thing here. What are you looking for?
I am looking for an artifact.
I could glean that from the amount of books you picked up on artifacts and shit like that. But what specifically?
It is something I saw in a dream. It may not exist. And she'll describe what she remembers it looking like.
Are you just describing the rod or anything else from the dream?
Just the rod and then the pillars.
The pillars. Okay. Good choice. As he goes, well, I don't know fuck all about what you're describing to me in terms of this, rod. But the tall stone and iron pillars, as you called them. But much bigger than pillars, as you said, right?
Yes.
That sounds a bit familiar to me. It sounds like you're talking about old world ruins. Now, I don't know anything about that rod. We have some books on old world ruins here, though.
Okay. Can you show them to me?
You'll point out where to find them.
Then she'll go back and look through those books.
And I don't think you would have heard anything about old world ruins. There's none where you're from, so... no roll or anything on that. As you go to look through, you would look through and find what looks like a book that maybe will help you, as you pick up what reads as a title, The Stone Jungles of Euclax.
She'd take that up to the front.
And I can actually give you the author name as well, as it is penned by a Relug Marfu. Or it's Relug Marfu, I believe. And you're gonna buy the book?
Yes.
Well, I hope you found what you were looking for, lady.
I hope so too.
You want to buy one of these fucking things and one of these cookies, maybe? As he pulls out the strange, magnet-like things that, I described last time they were here in one of the cookies.
What name does the magnet have on it?
Did they have names on it? I don't remember. Or was it just,
No, I think it was just come visit
It was
the
Wish You Were
Sorcerer's
Here.
library.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was-
wish you were here at the sorcerer.
but I do like this. What weird fantasy name is on the magnet that Soul gets?
no, it's still wishing you were here at the sorcerer's, library.
She'll purchase both of them.
Okay. So it'll be a gold piece for everything.
Gracias.
Thanks for buying one of these fucking things off my hand.
Que lista gato.
Just nods to you. What are you gonna do after?
Then she'll go back to the inn, but instead of reading the Stone Jungles of Uclex, she'll read through Folk of the Shadowfell first.
Okay, so you're gonna keep reading that?
Yep.
How long will you be reading?
She just wants to finish the chapter on Shades.
Okay.
For now.
And after you finish that, are you going to read Stone Jungle, or what would you be doing?
Then she'd move on to the Stone Jungles if she has time.
Okay. And
Time.
would you be heading to the meeting point for the graveyard expedition at 4 or around
Yes.
that time? Okay. So you would be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you'll start you'll try to finish the chapter on Shades. Roll me a wisdom check to see how long that takes you. Okay. So you are, like, doubling over some concepts and really trying to think on things as you read through it. But you will finish the chapter on Shades, and I will send you a thing of information later. I don't have that right now. And then you'll start reading the Stone Jungle. Okay.
Yes.
Are you trying to, like, reference through it to find specifically what you're looking for? Or are you trying to, just read through the whole thing?
She's trying to find what she's looking for.
Okay, roll me another wisdom check for you trying to, like, reference across to find what you're looking for. Another 11. It's taking you some time, to look through it, for specifically what you want. But you are eventually going to find some information that you're looking for, but by the time you find it, you'll have, reached the time when you're going to have to head out. But what you do find is a description of that statue and that rod, describing how it has been spotted in multiple ruins across Uclex. But that is all you'd get through your searching at the time. It's a rather lengthy tome. It's very big. So you'll get that, and then you're going to have to group up back with everyone at the meeting spot. But that will happen, and then I'm going to jump back to the group. Main group has the guard captain will look to you all and go, you two can go confer if you need. He looks to Beryl and Carolina. You just gonna hang out here while they do that, or what are you doing?
Just look to Carolina, like, I don't know. What are we doing?
Well, we know what time we're supposed to meet up with the others. We could just walk around town for a bit.
Hey, we could.
Unless there's something you want to do.
No, I didn't have any plans.
I just need to know if you're staying in my prison, if you're staying in my courtyard or not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not actually interested in your plans. Are you waiting for him, or are you fucking off?
Are we allowed to wait for them here?
If by allowed, do you mean you'll get to do it without me being pissy? No. Or if by allowed you'll mean you'll get to do it, but I'll be pissy about it, then sure.
I just tug on Carolina's clothing a bit. Go,
Silas and Josie are waiting in the garden.
Yeah, we can go to them.
just a big sigh of relief.
Oh, perfect.
Astrid, Isaac, we'll meet you outside.
That sounds good, Barrel.
Great.
Guard
Don't
Captain.
get killed by a serial killer.
Yeah. Don't do, just keep an eye on Isaac.
I mainly think that's the main reason I'm here, to be honest.
In fact, keep both eyes on him. As I'll look over at Isaac.
If you have any more than two, then just keep them all on.
I only have the two, I'm fairly certain.
All right.
Do you
We'll
have
be
more
on
than
our
two?
way.
I don't think so.
Wow, this is a really striking and useful line of conversation you guys are having.
Mm-hmm.
It's the guard captain.
Is it?
Well, we'll be on our way then. Guard Captain.
I just
Okay.
whisper to Caroline. She makes me very nervous.
Yep. See, wouldn't want to be and such.
Mm-hmm.
That was very rude. Don't think I'd want to be her either, but I wouldn't say it to her face.
She gives me the vibe that she has like a recliner at home that she just lives for. I don't know why.
Just drinks beer out of.
Yeah, it just has a whole
So,
fucking six-pack ready to
What
go.
is Beryl and Carolina doing? They're going to the garden and they're just
Yeah. I
You
mean, unless
doing
unless
anything
Caroline
there?
has anything else has.
No, I think we'll just wait for now then.
Have you bought that armor yet?
I gotta get paid first.
Oh my god.
I'd love to have like something random happen for you guys to have something more to do this session.
No,
but,
it's fine. This Isaac thing has been waiting for a
well,
while.
it's not even
Chase
just
a bumblebee.
not even just the Isaac thing, but like you guys have gotten pretty far in the Wolford plot line. I don't feel like there's a need to throw anything else into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just like at the rate the session is going and me looking down at the clock, depending on how long this serial killer talk goes, I don't know what's gonna happen. I might end as you guys meet up to go to the garden, because I
fair.
don't know if I wanted the
Continue
cemetery.
on.
I don't know if I want to do the cemetery plot line without Karina and Ben.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair.
So I don't know
I'm
what's
okay
gonna
with
happen.
that.
But
I'm okay with
I'm
that.
probably not going to have something random happen, because I think that you
Yeah,
guys
no.
have enough has happened in Wolford already that I can't force a plot line out of nowhere.
What's the most common hate crime in Wolford?
Oh my god. Oh my
God,
god.
Astrid.
Jesus.
not a lot of hate crimes in Destin. Gonna be
Oh
honest. with
man,
you.
I
mean,
would watch a show where Beryl is a social justice warrior and like literally a
Probably.
social justice warrior, like fights for justice.
Anyway,
Something against some kind of drow or something.
and that's just the mayor. Anyway, Beryl and Isaac, not Beryl, Isaac and Astrid.
Right. Well, Astrid, if I could speak to you over here for a moment. And I gesture just out of earshot of the guard captain.
She'll go. She'll do the song and dance.
You think you're out of earshot of her,
Yeah.
at the
Well,
very least.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm saying this in a hushed voice, but I'm not going to do that for roleplay purposes.
Yeah.
I'll lean into Astrid and I'll be like, "Okay, look. I think you're the only person I could trust around here, at least for now. And I promise that I'm going to tell you as much as I possibly can once this is done. Just back me up here right now. There's a chance that this guy may recognize me. I've never met him, I'll tell you that much. But there's a chance that he may recognize me. So if that happens, I may have to course correct and start hitting him with hard questions. But if not, we're going to softball it into what the serial killings at first, and we'll lead into the harder questions. And again, I promise you that I will divulge as much about myself as I can to you after this. It's just, right now I need somebody to support me. And like I said, I think you're the one who could do that.
Do you want me to do anything specific?
If you have questions about the serial killings, I mean, I'm interested in them as well, but I do have an ulterior motive.
I mean, I expected that, but alright, if I do this for you, at least in the prison, I need you to keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, I don't plan on touching him.
That's what you say, but you're very grabby.
Not with other people. I'm not like that.
He might offer you something, is what I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough. I won't take it, regardless of what it is.
Alright. I'll do what I can, and I'll try to really pay attention to help you ascertain if he's lying or not.
That's as much as I can ask of you.
Astrid really likes true crime, guys. Okay, I'm assuming 10 minutes have passed and I will no longer have Barrel's little superpower.
By this point, yes.
Okay.
You are super powerless.
Superpower.
Fool.
Yeah.
So, you two are going to approach the guard captain?
Yes.
Okay! Ready to meet the serial killer?
Dude, I am so fucking nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
That was guard captain.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't mean that, guard captain. But yes. We're about as ready as anyone can be to meet a psychopath.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be in there, but trust me, you'll be flanked by my best, and, really, don't give me a reason to be pissed off about listening to the Night of Four here. Because I really don't want to be.
I don't want you to be either, guard captain.
Cool. She calls out, Fredericks, these people are meeting with the serial killer. Keep an eye on him with everyone for the entirety of the time. Nothing weird happens, alright? If anything does, you remove him from there as soon as possible. As the guard she calls over goes, I got it. As he looks to you, goes, alright, right this way then. As he's gonna go over to the door and you two are gonna follow. As he's gonna go, alright, listen. Keep your arms away from the cell. Don't stand too close to it. Don't make any sudden moves toward him, or else we're going to throw you out.
Understood. I'll stay as still as possible.
We're going to be watching you the whole time, so just keep that in mind. Don't make this difficult for us. And genuinely, I don't know why you want to fucking talk to this guy, but if you want to follow my advice, just dip as soon as you get what you need.
That's my intention. Jay, can you describe, like, is it like a cell, like, I could see through, or is it a door?
You have not gotten inside yet.
Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, I'm getting at myself.
You are very much. Just take a deep breath. Take it easy. Take it easy.
It's gonna go.
Just have a seat.
Just take a seat right there.
Why don't you take a seat right there?
Why don't you take a seat?
I don't know what we're doing.
Walk in and Chris Hansen's there.
Oh, no!
More of that.
Was watching a bunch of To Catch a Predator episodes with Alan.
Isn't it romantic when your boyfriend asks you to watch a bunch of Catch a Predator videos with you? It's so romantic.
Anyway,
Great to hear today.
as you two are led up to the door, and the double doors are swung open, and you are led inside a room illuminated by dim torchlight as you step in, as you find yourself in this back room that has but one cell, flanked by 2 guards directly by it, and then there are 2 more guards directly at the opposite side of the room. In the entirety of length, the room is perhaps about 30 feet wide, and at the direct front of the room there is a cell door that is firmly shut, and inside what is maybe a 10-foot wide cell, there is an individual sitting at the back of it. And as you all step in... you begin hearing something coming from him. As Isaac, you hear him...
I think I have to guess what he's going to say, but go ahead.
You hear him what sounds like singing something. Singing a tune to himself in the middle of a verse of the tune. As you'd come in hearing that, as he is singing very softly to himself, just hearing, "Oh, mother, who with many arms enfolds and keeps us safe from harms." And as the door would open, he would stop the verse and would be looking toward the way coming in. And Astrid, as you stepped in, you did not hear any sort of singing. You just hear this horrid sort of guttural noise he's making from the back, as if he's just making a horrid sound with his throat for some reason, sounding like choking or drowning of some sort even. As you come in, and one of the guards bangs on the cell door and goes, "Cut it off with the noise. You've someone here to see you." And all the guards look like their ears are, like, they're, like, standing there, like, very clearly unpresent from the noise, not happy with the noise. And the door would shut behind you two. As sitting inside the cell, you see what looks like a tan-skinned human man with long black hair and some stubble and on his chin and upper lip. As he sits, not even on the bed, with his back against the bed on the floor, as he just drags his fingers across the stone wall, and you see his hands are manacled by what look like a pale yellow type of metal. And Isaac and Astrid can roll history upon seeing it, because it's a famous enough metal that you might know what it is. It is used in law enforcement pretty commonly.
Vibranium.
No. Isaac, you recognize it as orichalcum, which is something that is employed very often by Praxmore for the arrest of magic users and such.
Can I get the spelling on that?
Nope.
Okay.
Not right now. I could probably find it, but it'll take a minute, because I don't know how to fucking spell orichalcum off the top of my head, generally. Alright, I got it. It took like a second.
Thank you.
As this is a bit too intense, like something is happening, so I'm going to change the music real quick. As Yes, it's going to be this. Perfect. There we go. As he stops his singing to you, Isaac, you hear the singing stop, and Astrid, you'd hear the guttural noise stop. As he sits back at the back of the cell, just watching forward, as his eyes are a pale yellowish color. No, that's not true. Sorry, pale greenish color, as they are looking forward, waiting at the back. And the guard that escorted you in goes, "Approach, but don't get too close."
Okay. Isaac would take a step forward. He's not gonna, like, he's not getting up to the bars or anything. He's probably like a good 2 or 3 feet back from the bars. and he'll recite something to the killer. And this is what he'll say. Song of my soul, my voice is dead. Die thou unsung as tears unshed, shall dry and die in Los Carcosa.
You some sort of priest or poet come to read me last rites or something?
Nothing like that. I was hoping maybe you were a connoisseur of the arts.
I'm a connoisseur of many arts. Perhaps not the common ones you think of.
Certainly not. I can only imagine.
Though if you're reading those types of poems to me, I don't think you're a connoisseur of common arts either.
So you're familiar with the text?
I'm familiar with many things. Who are you? Why are you here to speak to little old me?
Come to ask you about your dealings. Who you know, where you come from, and the like.
Boring questions.
We'll see how boring they get. I'm going to start off soft. Firstly, I'm sure you've been asked many a times, and Isaac is going to swallow audibly because his voice is very dry, as is mine. Why'd you do it? The drownings.
Have sand in your throat or something? Poet?
Seems my water consumption has been a little lacking of late.
I could help with that, you know.
I don't need help from you.
I helped a lot of people who may have been a bit too thirsty for their own good.
Yeah. That's the kind of humor I expect.
Wasn't a joke. Everyone here's thirsty, but not a thirst that is quenched by drinking. A thirst of the mind, a thirst of the body. Very different things.
Well, if you're not going to be direct, I guess I'll just keep asking you questions until you give me a straight answer.
I don't know what you'd expect of an answer from me. I don't know what anyone expects of an answer. Do you expect to glean something into the insights of why I did it? Or are you looking for justifications? You could say, oh, he did it because of that. Either way, you're not going to be happy with the answer.
Something tells me that you weren't happy with the answers that you found either.
I'm happier than I've ever been right now.
Somehow I don't doubt that. But if this was your plan all along, not much going forward for you.
I don't do plans. Planning isn't exactly in my repertoire.
Is that how you want to be seen? Presented as some psychotic fool?
Oh, I don't care how I'm seen or presented. I'm simply answering the question truthfully. I didn't plan a single thing.
Were you guided, directed?
You could say a muse guides my way, yes.
I'm sorry, Jake. What was that? A what
A
guides his way?
muse guides my way.
Muse, okay. And who would that be? What would that be?
You'll all find out one of these days. I don't do for spoiling surprises.
My research has led me to a few interesting things about you.
Oh,
Your
a
history.
researcher.
You could call me that.
How good for me. My family loved researchers.
We'll get to that too. But first, did you know an Adamar Waite? He apparently studied with you at Innsmouth University.
Many people studied with me at Innsmouth University. I can't remember every bird that flew past me.
I'm going to insight check that.
Sure.
Oof.
Aster will also insight check that because she said she would do that for Isaac.
Isaac, it's hard to read him. Astrid. It is also hard to read him.
Okay.
But you're familiar with Innsmouth.
You could say I am. I studied at the university there, at the very least. For a very long time. Innsmouth was a sanctuary for many like me.
Shame about what happened to it, don't you think?
In your eyes, I'm sure you'd see it as a shame.
So are you implying that you think what happened was to its benefit?
Some scholars theorize that if the gods didn't create all life, that all life began at the sea at some point. It only seems fitting that everything returns to it.
You a holy man? A religious boy? You like the gods? You know of them?
I don't think I need to answer that question.
I'd like if you did. Just
You'd
Just
like
curious.
if I did.
Sorry, bud.
He's representing the madness too well.
Chaos is surrounding him. This gives me time to wipe my brow.
Put that water back in your body, son. Aster's just in there like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What?
Oh no, he's gotta change the batteries.
Getting back into it. Where was I?
The last thing was talking about Innsmouth, I believe. That he thought it was a good thing to that all things were born of the sea and returned to the sea, and something along those lines.
What
And
was-
then Asak, he's probably keeping better notes than me because I'm a little frazzled.
Does anyone know what was being said as my mic dropped?
The last thing I have written in my notes is the all life began at the sea seems fitting things return to it.
Well, I don't know what he was saying. One second. Yes, as we have already established with that a couple times. That's okay. One moment. He asked him if he was a holy man.
That's right, and he laughed.
He laughed because you said he'd liked if he did. As he was saying, as he laughed and goes, your interrogation techniques are at least different from the others, I'll give you that.
Let's think of this as a conversation, not an interrogation.
Conversation with me behind bars and the other person not. While I'm manacled.
Well, I guess when you put it that way.
I don't like to deal in illusions anymore. So I'm not going to be keen on acting like this isn't something that it is.
Have you ever been to Oakmill?
Don't know the name.
Well, apparently a lot of refugees from Innsmouth ended up there.
Poor old Oak Mill, then.
They've been having troubles of their own.
Every place has troubles of their own.
Yeah, but these ones were a little bit special. Adamar Waite, the one who I mentioned before, his daughter survived, I guess what you could call a slaughter at an orphanage. What would you call out of character? The orphan director? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
The matron mother or anything like
Matron
that?
mother.
Director?
The director tore out the eyes of the orphans. Said that something caused her to do it.
What a comically hilarious tragedy.
Wouldn't know anything about that? About why she would do that?
I don't know anything about why some random woman would tear the eyes out of children.
Doesn't sound too far off from what you do.
I drown people. I didn't touch anybody's eyes. Though I suppose people's eyes start to bulge a bit when you drown them.
Now, if I understand anything about serial killings,
Is that what
Everyone-
they're calling me?
I mean, what label would you prefer?
I'll leave it up to viewer interpretation.
as I was saying, if I know anything about serial killings, it's that the mode of the murders is something tied to the person or their backstory. Why drownings? That's what
You're
I'm
gonna
asking.
crack me open like a book. Oh, you see, I lived on the sea when I was young, and I saw an awful tragedy. My mother slipped from the docks one day, caught in the ropes at the bottom of it, and died drowning. Something like that.
I'm gonna insight the story. God damn.
I'll give you he's, like, clearly making fun of you. Even
Okay.
with that insight.
Alright, fair.
Astrid, you could tell the same thing.
Astrid is very weirded out right now. She's not on top of her game.
Something like that, are you expecting? Or
not
perhaps, my father beat me so much when I was younger, and one of his favorite things to do was drop my head into a bucket of water and just leave me there for a bit, only to bring me out right before I'd lost enough air to go unconscious. You know, something that really show why I symbolically picked drownings. Is that what you're looking for?
Topic of family. What was your father's name?
At least you know how to stitch together and move through this weave of conversation when you have been foiled. My father's name. I never knew my father. I'll give you that one for free.
So, you're not connected to your roots at all?
I am no longer connected to any roots.
You know, that's interesting.
You could say I'm like a tree ripped from the ground. Emancipated.
It's interesting because I heard a rumor that your family dates back to the Arcanum Empire. Arcanium, sorry.
Oh, to have you.
The Maiji line is long and vast.
Is that true? He turns to look at you. He squints his eyes as they linger on you for a minute. As he appears to be examining you for a second and then just starts laughing as he goes, Oh. Oh my God. By the gods. This is too funny. I didn't get a good look at you before. I didn't realize that it went to you, didn't it? Oh, that's why you're here. That's why you found yourself in front of the poor old cell of a disgruntled serial killer. Oh, you touched it. You happened to be the one that found that accursed thing. Oh. Grasping at any lead you can you?
So I take it was in your possession
A
before?
cruel twist of irony. Oh, I rid myself of that thing. Tied down by the blood and roots of family too long, I freed myself from that curse. And now, you, someone who's not even related to me in any way, just happens upon it and is now the one bearing it. Oh. What a sad ending.
Contrary to that, I think my story is just beginning. Yours, however, may come to an end very soon.
You don't know what an end is yet, my friend. My story's only just beginning in some ways. A chapter ends, and soon when they bring that nice old noose around my neck and I die, gasping for air, the next page will turn.
What do you expect to happen?
You don't need to expect what things that you know will happen. Emancipation is not something that you get alone. I broke my bonds and am now free to serve the one who helped me.
Do you care to enlighten me who that is? Maybe he could help me.
And he will. And he will help everyone. All will know the name soon enough.
Why don't you give me a teaser?
No. I can give you a teaser of what's to come, though, for you. I can see it in your eyes. You haven't seen it yet. You don't know that he's hunting you yet. You haven't seen that accursed metal eye watching over you yet. Soon you'll know. Soon you'll be aware of every step you take, every spell you cast, and every power you call upon, 'cause each and every tug on that string is gonna pull it closer to you.
Who? What?
Oh, you'll know soon enough. Haven't had any dreams of it yet, I suppose.
I dream plenty.
But I can see it in your eyes. There's still hope there. You haven't seen it yet. Or at least if you have, you don't understand it.
Is this being the Yellow King?
You're really gripping on to any lead you could get. I had to stumble my way through life trying to piece things together myself. I think you'll have to do the same, Mr. Researcher.
How do I stop it?
How did I stop it?
You said you broke the curse, the bond.
That I did. I told you how I did it. Emancipation comes at a price. Freedom is not free.
I didn't ask for this. I'm expecting you to help me.
And do you think I did? You're just the poor fool that ended up touching an age-old book, cursed with it. You at least have some part of the blame for touching it. I was born into a line, forced into a corner where I had to make a deal. And I did. So I don't care of you telling me how much you didn't ask for anything. You can't possibly know what it's like to not ask to have something afflicted onto you.
Well, from one cursed soul to another. I hope it doesn't work out for you.
We're all cursed souls. Some of us just bargain our curses with things that deal the curse. Don't worry too much, Mr. Researcher. It all won't be a problem soon. Soon, you'll find yourself in the cold care, like I do, of another. And you won't have to worry about that scary old book ever again.
I'll ask one more question.
Hmm.
Do you know of other texts that your lineage have written?
If I did, I wouldn't tell you, but I don't. It's a shame I won't be able to see what's gonna happen with you. To see what desperation drives you to find. Doesn't seem like a lie, Astrid.
I think I'm done here. Unless you want to give me any sort of insight. I don't think you do. But maybe charity.
Ta-ta, Mr. Researcher. Like my family before, you'll find soon enough that too much insight is what causes this problem to begin with.
Fuck off. And you turn and storm away.
As he begins whistling that tune once again as you leave.
Astrid doesn't leave just yet. She's going to ask one question.
Sure.
Salt water in the woods and an intense feeling of dread, does that mean anything to you?
Stops whistling. As he's quiet for a minute. Then in an instant, Astrid, you see him rush up and he just bangs against the cell. His head.
Yeah, she steps back.
As the guards instantly jump as well, but they point their spears out toward the cell as he's banged his head against it, blood trickling down his forehead. And
as it would turn around at this point.
As they call out to him and go, back from the bars! As he just smirks out toward you, Astrid, at the question, as he just goes. All will be revealed sooner or later. So he then steps away from the bars, backs up into the room, and actually sits and lays down on the bed. Goes back to whistling.
Yeah, she'll just slowly. She doesn't really want to turn her back to him, so she's gonna back out of the room, and then once she's out, she'll turn around.
As the guard will walk with you guys out and go, I hope you gleaned something from that.
I don't know.
Regardless, that is that. He shuts the door as you guys are outside. We did try to warn you. Sorry about that. His voice was a bit rough for me because it was very low and dry because of obvious reasons. Probably not getting as much water.
Did you hear my question, Isaac, or should I repeat it?
Yeah, Astrid, what did you do to set him off?
I just asked if he knew anything about finding salt water in the woods and then feeling intense dread. One of the nights we were on our way to Wolford, Beryl and I went to investigate something, and we came across a puddle of salt water, and I couldn't be near it. I practically dragged Beryl away from it. And considering he seems to be somewhat obsessed with the sea, I thought maybe he'd know the answer.
Well, regardless, you got a better reaction out of him than I did, and I thought I had all the answers, well, all the questions, not the answers. I thought I had the right questions, but
I mean, I think he had the right questions. I just don't think he was willing to answer them.
it's possible.
As far as I could tell, he wasn't lying about anything, but he was extremely hard to read.
Yeah, you're telling me.
You were dealing with the words of a madman there, sir. Don't put too much stock in what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
As much as he claims to be serving some sort of higher power or being of some sort of more, it's obvious that he isn't. We've done all the investigations we need into him already, even arcane ones, only to find that he is but a normal psychopath murderer. This happens every so often.
He has no magic to speak of?
He had magic, but it's not the fact that he had magic that was the concern. We were concerned that he could have been serving something. A demon of some sort, a devil maybe. But we searched far and wide using whatever arcane investigations we can, and we found that there's no indication that he serves anything. He's just a man. A madman, but a man at that. Don't take too much of what he said at face value.
I'll keep that in mind.
Please do, as you seem shaken up by it. It is a disturbing thing to deal with, someone who lives life like that. But, again, take stock in rationality. There's nothing rational to prove anything that he has said.
Thank you for your service. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's nods to and goes. Do you wish to speak with the guard captain, either of you, or are you done here?
Do you know when his execution will be?
Undecided yet, though. With all that's going on, we've been worried that he may get a chance to escape if there's another attack. So we're possibly pushing it for sooner than later.
Well, I'm sure it'll be posted in the town, correct? At some point, when the date is decided.
There will likely be reportings on it, but it will not be a public execution. With all that's gone on, there are concerns about the idea of doing that.
Understandable. Just keep an eye on that one. I know he deals in irrationalities, but in times of war, irrationality is what we have.
Don't worry. We've given him very little freedoms aside from his request of burial, where he'll be buried. So worried not.
Where did he request to be buried, if you don't mind me asking?
I feel as though the answer is only going to disturb you more, sir.
Is it the city?
As I said, sir, I feel the answer is only going to disturb you more.
I'd rather know.
He requested a burial at sea, yes. Nothing special, he said. Just tie a rock to me and just throw me in.
I'm going to give you some advice. don't honor his request. He'll be dead anyway. What does it matter?
We will take that into consideration, sir.
I'd suggest cremation.
Yeah, it's the opposite, basically.
We will take that into consideration as well.
All right, well, thank you for your time.
Nod Steel. What are the two of you gonna do?
Astrid's gonna start steering Isaac towards the garden so he can meet with everybody else, and she's gonna offer him her water flask.
Isaac would take it, take a swig, thank Isaac, and give it back to her and say, whenever you want to have that conversation I mentioned, just let me know. I'm willing to do it at any time. Just preferably between the two of us.
I think it can wait until you're a bit more stable.
That's fair. Christ. He would say Christ.
Who's that?
I make that mistake all the time, so that's all right.
We all do.
My father was an avid pipe smoker. I'm really feeling the need to take up the habit. Said it helped him calm his nerves. I don't know why that just occurred to me, but well, I guess it just shows that I'm a little shaken right now.
Is your father alive?
Yeah, he's still in Proxmore. He's probably worried sick about me, but I'll show
Have you
her.
written to him at all?
No, not. I told him that I had to find myself. Like I was some stupid, shitty teenager. But I hope to see him soon. Sooner rather than later.
I suggest you write home, even just to say that you're safe and alive. I can't write home, and I would give anything to at this moment.
He's all I have. I think yeah. I owe him that much. I'll write him a letter tonight. I'm sure they could have it sent out here from Wolford. Thank you for coming with me, Astrid. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I wasn't able to provide much help.
No, I needed a witness, and well, like I said, we'll have that conversation soon.
Do you know why he was making that terrible noise?
The singing?
Was he singing? It sounded like he was choking.
Astrid, I heard singing.
I didn't hear singing.
Astrid, roll me a sanity saving throw.
I'm in danger. My sanity throws always fucking suck.
As you think back to the moment when you heard that horrid gurgling sound from his throat, that wet, horrid sound like a lung filled with water, and the words that Isaac just said echo in your mind of, I heard singing, over and over, and you remember that pool of water, that pit in your stomach that it felt unending. As you gain a point of dread, and you currently have a fear of bodies of water.
I think Astrid actually drops to her knees and throws up on the ground.
Astrid, Jesus! Oh my God, I gotta stop making that mistake. Astrid, are you alright?
Yes. I think. I mean, I don't feel particularly well, but I think I'm over it.
Help her to her feet, and I say, like, get your water skinned, or let's meet up with the others. So you could lean on me if you need to.
I think if I leaned on you, you'd fall over as well.
A possibility. Maybe it's for the best if you don't.
Yeah, and we'll start walking again.
Okay. As you two will walk, heading off toward the group. As
Right,
you've
back to
left
the
the
station.
fortress and such.
I do. I would have used vomit. I would have cleaned. I mean, I would have used vomit. I would have used prestidigitation to clean the vomit.
Back at the fortress, the guards all night will continue to hear that horrid moaning sound that Isaac described as singing. And I think, considering where we are in the game, with everyone about to group back up again, and with it actually being 10, so only an hour before we would end normally, I am going to call it here, so that we will pick up next week with hopefully a full hand. If not, we're just going to go forward without a full hand, because that's just how it goes. I don't want to, put off too much time. As we'll pick up with people meeting back up at the garden, and then likely everyone meeting back up later for the exploration of the cemetery. I hope everyone. Oh, I can turn off the fucking music. I don't need you guys having that anymore.
I vomited really dramatically.
As we'll pick up next week. I'm sorry that some people didn't get to do much this session.
Fine.
Nonetheless, next session is going to be a pretty party-based one. You guys are going to be together. So expect everyone to get a chance to do anything they would like to do in a group setting.
It's the rave episode.
Soul, I am going to send you the information regarding shades later. I do not have that completely compiled and organized yet, but I will send you what you gleaned from the book. And you'll get more from the other book later on when you read. You're guaranteed after... You got a bad roll on the first time, which is why you didn't get anything more than just finding a reference point. But the next time you read, you're going to get another roll, but you're guaranteed to get more information because you already have like a point of reference to go off of. But another roll, we'll see how much more information you get. Nonetheless... I hope everyone had fun, as that is going to be the session. I apologize for the mic problems. That fucking sucked.
No worries, man.
But nonetheless, that's going to be that. Those of you that have dreads, I think I told you to have somewhere on your sheet to record that. So hopefully everyone has done so. I'm going to go over sheets later to see that is the case. Not to, get anyone in trouble or anything, because that's an easy thing to forget, just to, in case someone has forgotten. But that is that. I'm going to say goodbye to the stream very quickly. So if you want to say goodbye.
Bye, stream.
All right, as I am going to do that.
Bye specifically to Ollie. Do more mean things to Chris.
Okay. I'll be back in a minute.
I'm here to